It's spring 2013, and all the conditions are coming together, setting the stage for a multi-day severe weather outbreak in the southern plains. Storm chasers and researchers alike are prepping their vehicles and getting ready for their chance to document severe weather, including large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Storm chasers use the latest in computer weather models to forecast where severe weather looks to occur, current surface conditions, and real-time satellite information to analyze the environment, and internet radar to position themselves in the path of severe weather.
Yeah, there's a boundary there.
It's gotta be an outflow boundary.
Must be. Because
It's not the warm front.
not the warm front. It's gotta be an outflow boundary.
Well, if that's the case, that could really make today interesting.
Yeah.
After analyzing the morning model data, the team heads to Wellington, Kansas as their initial stop to wait for the storms to fire. There, they run into the biggest names in tornado research and analyze the current surface data.
What the hell was that? I'm gonna go slow here. I want you to look at what I just saw. There's something funky going on back there, and I need to see it up close. Okay, now watch the cell. See this? What is going on there? There's something here.
Can you turn that for me for a second so I can watch one loop?
This is moving here. There's something here, and then boom, that cell fires.
That's well, those gravity waves right there.
Okay, so those. See, look at
see
that.
See those lines? That's a that's
Okay, there's the. I see the gravity wave, but watch where that blows up right here. There's something. There's something going on.
I think it's still interacting with the gravity wave.
By 2 p.m., the Storm Prediction Center has issued a tornado watch for our area as storms begin to initiate to our west and to our southwest. We decided to target the storm that's traveling off to the northeast to our north based on the very strong inflow into the storm. As we get on the storm, other storm chasers have converged on the area as well. Very broad rotation is evident in the cloud as a wall cloud begins to form.
We're gonna get caught if we don't get ahead of it, though.
No, we should be fine.
If it drops, it's gonna come right out of there.
Very, very broad rotation. It's not quite
right
enough, but it's definitely rotating very well.
As we get out to take a closer look at the storm, the strong inflow is increasing and the rotation begins to tighten. It is getting ready to produce a tornado within the next few minutes. The wall cloud is becoming more evident from the storm. Also, heavy rain is beginning to fall from the storm. As our only option east is a dirt road, we must start heading east ahead of the rain so that we don't get stuck. As we head east, a funnel begins to drop from the storm. It slowly begins to descend to the ground, becoming a beautiful, white, elephant trunk tornado. Unfortunately, the heavy rain from the storm is really making visibility a problem, and the tornado is not easily seen.
There comes tornado! See if you can find a place to point the stream. Go around them. Tornado!
Ethan, can you move to your left? Scan your rope.
Rope!
Oh yeah, come out the window.
Roll your window down, Dan.
We then begin to debate whether to stop and watch the storm and film it, or to keep getting and trying to get closer.
Stop.
I'm not stopping.
Stop! Over! I want to get video!
Why are we? No.
You can't see the tornado!
Dude, there's no room to stop here. We're gonna
Up
block
here.
traffic. Anywhere, really. There it goes.
There's a tornado!
You can't even see it.
Yes, you can!
Visibility is horrible.
Oh my God.
And as quickly as the tornado forms, it begins to dissipate and rope out.
You can't even see it. It's already roped out.
We start heading north to get a closer look at the storm. On radar, the rotation is beginning to increase and has the possibility of dropping another tornado.
It's gonna pass just to our north. It's huge.
Fine.
Go east.
Go on right here.
It's just to our north.
Somewhere hidden in the rain, a very strong tornado has been reported by other storm chasers. A very large stovepipe and white tornado is quickly approaching the city of Wichita, Kansas.
picture your cameras as far left as physically possible. Thank
We
you.
can just get a visual. Oh my God.
You see it.
Radar shows a very intense rotation in the storm, and it's heading right for the National Weather Service in Wichita.
Going, their office is taking cover. They're going to take a direct hit.
Uh-oh.
I think we need to get on 35. Yes, we need to get back to the turnpike, I think. It's like 3 miles.
Once we got to the turnpike, we realized the storm was losing tornadic potential. We decided to shift south to intercept a new cell approaching Wellington. This storm had increasing tornadic potential. There, we ran into research teams, including the Doppler on wheels, and probe teams putting probes in the path of the storm.
I'm looking for it. It would be right back in.
Yeah.
Do you see anything on the ground?
Ooh.
It's in the middle of that rain curtain.
It's right there.
Is that a power flash?
Maybe.
That might have been.
I saw something. I saw a flash towards the ground. Right, there's the wall cloud right there.
Yeah.
I think we need to move. It's starting to get close.
I think we might actually get a big tornado out of this. It's really looking. You can see it. Hey, wait! On the right there. Look, closer to the foreground.
Oh yeah, okay.
You see that cone looking thing?
Yeah.
Oh, we got bull. Okay, that's a definitely developing bull funnel.
Once we start seeing what looks to be a funnel, a report comes into the National Weather Service verifying our claims. Oh yeah.
White stovepipe funnel. Yep.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
White stovepipe funnel. 7 southeast of Wellington.
That's about where we're at.
Right there. Okay, we need to get back to that road and
Yeah.
go east. Now,
This inflow tail, how long it is?
all right, we got to get. Oh,
It's doing something.
do you see anything yet? All right, we got to get east.
This is a rock, don't worry about it. This is a rock.
We got to get east.
As the Doppler on wheels starts scanning our storm, we decide to book east, as what looks to be a developing tornado forming just off to our west.
Peace.
Guys, keep an eye out your back.
Alright. As we head east, a large wall cloud is forming, and a new radar update shows strengthening rotation within the storm. The storm is now coming right at us, and we have to get east in order to stay ahead of the storm. A quick bolt of lightning strikes within yards of us.
Whoa! Right there! Right in the fucking field! I have never...
We continue to head east down the highway, as the storm really starts to become an absolute monster. The rotating mesocyclone right above us is showing signs of intensification, and the tornado potential is really starting to ramp up. After a quick stop to look at the storm, we realize it's getting too close for comfort.
Oh, it's right there!
Yeah, I'm saying it's off to the northwest.
The tornado. Oh my God!
We're in
it's gonna
we're in the outer periphery of the circulation.
Yeah.
We're in the bear's cage, baby.
We're in the bear's cage.
Okay, how can we...
The bear's cage is a term that's used to describe the precipitation that wraps around the mesocyclone. Inside this mesocyclone is where the tornado likely is. Notice the rain that is traveling from right to left ahead of us, wrapping into the storm. As you once again start getting ahead of the storm, the tornadic potential begins to lessen, as it becomes a very high precipitation beast. The green tint in the clouds is a sign of very heavy rainfall, or some pretty large hail as well. We now have to make the decision whether to stick with the storm, or play storms that are firing off to the southwest. As our storms began to go linear in nature, and the tornadic potential began to decrease drastically, a discrete storm, 100 miles to our south, was producing long-tracked and violent tornadoes. We had to get there. As we started to get close to the storm, we could see the very impressive structure, including the almost completely vertical updraft, which was responsible for producing the tornadoes. The storm kept going, and we had a chance to intercept it before it reached the Tulsa metropolitan area. The storm began to slowly weaken as we approached it, as more storms fired to its southwest, interfering with its inflow. However, right before we got to it, the National Weather Service issued another tornado warning as the rotation began to increase as it approached areas of higher helicity or higher shear. And as we approached Okmulgee, Oklahoma, the storm had one last great surprise for us.
Well, that's a lot more than I was expecting around the bend.
A very well-organized wall cloud with lots of vertical motion and rotation approached us as we rounded a hill near Okmulgee. We decided to go in closer for a closer look.
Let's just find a spot where we can see if it drops. Jeez. Look at it. Look at the motion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, look at that rising motion. Holy Christ.
The lighting is kind
We're
of
right
beautiful.
in it. If it does anything, you're gonna see it.
Yeah, we're right in the right spot.
Although there was plentiful rising motion, as well as lots of rotation, it was all pretty broad and not very tight, and a tornado did not drop, even though we were in the perfect position if it did.
On, please. Man, that thing's just spinning.
As we headed back through town, the National Weather Service decided to activate their tornado sirens just as a precaution. What we saw was quite unsettling, as almost every person in town was on their front porch taking pictures of the storm.
People are outside taking pictures. Awesome. Guess we're not much better, but...
We're right in the hook. They're all outside.
This is just wrong. And you wonder why people die. Like, there's a group of people right here. There's another man right
Look
here.
it.
What are you doing?
As the storm headed east, it produced nothing more than heavy rain. And so, we ended our first day of the chase on the Southern Plains with a steak dinner, scoring at least one tornado and possibly a second completely rain-wrapped tornado.
Another round of severe weather likely today. This outlook is for northwest and west central Arkansas as well as much of eastern Oklahoma. For today and tonight, tornado, risk elevated, area, eastern Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas, unset after 2 p.m. Area at greatest risk, south of Interstate 44 and north of Interstate 40. Severe thunderstorm, risk significant.
Day 2 of our storm chase started off early. 2 large supercells formed southwest of Oklahoma City, and we were forced with the decision to choose one over the other. Based on radar scans and our visuals, we believed the southern storm would be the better target.
South of us, though?
It'll pass...
We may want to get a little bit south so we can get out of this rain and get a clear view of it.
MD.
An MD is called a mesoscale discussion issued by the Storm Prediction Center.
The threat for tornadoes may be increasing across northeast Oklahoma.
It seems that the storms that are firing are going to be having a very short period of time where they can go absolutely insane given the current ingredients that are in place over the area. And that includes our storm.
A veer back pattern between 850 and 700 and from North Texas into southern Oklahoma. This weakness in the hodograph may inhibit the development of robust rotation later in the afternoon. However, in the short term, wind profiles currently appear to be more favorable for rotation from central northeastern Oklahoma into southeastern Kansas with 0-1 SRH of 1 to 150.
As we can finally see the base of the storm as the rainfall is cleared out of our way, we can see a very large and rotating wall cloud. This is a very good indication that tornado development is imminent. As we get closer to the storm, we now have a clear view of the wall cloud, and it is strengthening rapidly.
Got really good rising.
Oh, look at that rising.
Yeah, a little bulb. Oh, it's picking up. Rotation is
It's a
definitely.
tornado likely developing. Grady McLean
Look at
County.
that. Look at that. Picking up. Right now. There it goes.
Funnel 3 northeast of Duncan. That's it.
The National Weather Service is talking about our storm, saying that tornado development is imminent.
Look at the rotation.
No, it's so strong. I might be trying to form another funnel there in the middle.
Whoa.
Little. I want to have the rains interfering with it.
Keep the wipers going. Nice funnel. Nice funnel.
That was a bit close.
It's a nice funnel. There it comes. There it is.
My battery has to be going down. Yeah, it always fucking goes.
A very nice funnel began descending from the base of the wall cloud. Storm chasers closer to it reported that it did in fact touch ground, making this our first tornado of the day.
Dude, get inside, dude. The trunk is open.
Oh, that's pretty cool structure too.
As our storm cycles, we learn that a very large tornado is approaching the city of Moore, Oklahoma.
Yeah, there's a big tornado on the ground south of Moore.
What?
It was on the ground. Those guys west of here reported that it did make contact. Some people west of here said it made contact with the ground. They saw it. It's spinning like a top again.
The rain bands at the base are spinning.
Yep.
I think that thing might be on the ground.
Hard to tell yet.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like up
As the
over
wall
that
cloud
tree line.
continued to rotate, it ended up dropping yet another tornado, making this tornado number 2. This tornado, however, had no visible funnel and only picked up debris at the surface.
Yeah, they're just really wrapping in. Tornado northeast of Duncan. No visible funnel. Debris in the air.
Yeah, so
So it was on the
two,
ground.
Number 2.
I mean, he is 4 northeast of Duncan. Or where? Where the hell's Duncan?
It's due west. It's basically due west of us.
Okay. Oh. So it was down again.
Yeah.
Significant damage in Newcastle.
Yeah, there's a mile away on the ground.
Tornado. Oh!
Stovepipe! Let me get off the road just in case anyone comes flying down it.
Large stovepipe.
Report it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
tornado was a little bit difficult to see at first, being almost completely wrapped in rain. But as we moved to get a better view, we were able to see the full tornado touching the ground and this beautiful spot overlooking Clear Creek Lake.
Oh my god. Is the stream on, guys?
What about on the funnel? That thing is tall.
Come on, Jesse. I got
Right behind you.
Can you pull off the bottom right?
Where's that? Yeah, they're all out. They're all out.
No, it's all
Oh,
up.
you mean up.
How about the microfiber cloth? My screen's on red.
Okay, hold on.
It's in my door.
Yeah, they're open up. It's like a long elephant drum.
From our vantage point, we were able to see the entire life cycle of the tornado. From forming from the wall cloud, turning to a stovepipe tornado, then turning into an elephant trunk tornado, before eventually roping out and dissipating into thin air.
Okay.
After watching the entire lifespan of the tornado, we were then approached by another storm and were forced to sit through the core of the storm, receiving hail up to the size of quarters and half dollars.
Where did this road? Probably gonna pass north of us,
Come on behind us. We need to go west.
The storm was not done yet, and we now had to play catch-up after letting it ride past us after viewing the tornado. As we got closer, a new wall cloud was now visible. And as we got real close to it, it put on one last show as a beautiful white condensation funnel was up in the air, not touching the ground. One last show before we were done for the day.
I just saw a big funnel.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, why don't you just stop right here?